What his name is? What his name, man? That was 12. Seen this video right here, but this video on Blood J page, but it keeps stopping. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna go to his man. See. They had painted right here. They pride. Okay. Describe. That's it right there. It ain't gonna go. Okay, why you doing that describe, kids? We're going to that page. This first page we got killed right. I'm going to his page and cause you will follow me, right? He got a picture out of his name. Correct. But he had no tattoos on his face, man. He about to do time. He about my coat, kind of stopped, and he always wear a BG hoodie. Like, and if it's like people around here, stand up like this. This how it be. We're gonna have a BG hood on. The whole lot of nigga with. Okay, his name is Calvin. Kel, like I don't know his real name, but he kind of says Kel. So you know it's Kel, K-E-L. Okay. See you for real quick. Nah, he ain't gonna cut on him. I'm saying he's gonna charge him. Let's put on Charlie till about 5 minutes come later on. Alright. So this all stems from you thinking, they think you did it because you got to fight with Cal Monday. Honestly, I get blamed for everything that happened. Like, my name comes up in everything. Everything, like, even from that first time, they ain't ever come up in murder, so I didn't know what to do. You know, so you and Moto, y'all wasn't together until later on today. No, we didn't get together. So I called him. Most person told me, and then he was like, so I had a conflict, like, hey, bro, what should I do, bro? Like, cause I asked my brother, like, wait on for you. I really went to come out on my own and just talk, like, then when they started shooting at the house, I really didn't know what to do. So I tried to get some advice. I called Monson, come on, like, I'm telling Monson, like, what should we do? So yeah, like, I told him, I told you, he was like, bring me down here, you know what I'm saying? He came, brought me right here. Like, you gonna come in, like, I wait around, call me. All right, well, this on you then. Okay. Give me a minute, I'm right back. But okay, I feel you on this part, but okay, go ahead. I can this. What I'm gonna do, bro? I mean, because I know I'm gonna talk to Nuts mother and Kelly's Peanuts brother, right? I'm gonna let her know what the deal is. Okay. All right. So we'll take it from there. Okay. They continue to do, and you see who it is. Okay. Call. If you see them run around the neighborhood and you know what they're about to do, call. Because there's going to be an alert out for this. Okay? I'm telling you, like right now, the only reason I'm scared because I didn't do it, and I don't want, I feel, you know what I'm saying, that guy be on my time. All you do is extend to his brother, to extend to them. And if I'm able to talk to Kel, I'll let him know the same thing. If his mother go in, maybe get me in contact with Kel. I'll talk to him and see if that is him and his crew doing that. It is. I'm not gonna see him. It's him. Let me ask you this, to be honest. Do you belong in the game? I was. They were what, like they said, man, I'm talking about it's supposed to be about me not being down there no more. But he really don't know. He don't really know what it is because he tell people like, hey, me. Okay, so you got ABG. Yes, but it was in 2000. I had went to jail in 2000. I think it's 2015 now. I went to jail in 2013, 12. I went to jail in 2012. I did a year. But when I went to jail in 2012, I didn't get down to the game until I went in. So when you got out in 2013, you told him no. I never told him. I just started going around and I went claiming. Okay. You know, so now they see me with thug. And then I'm claiming YSL. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It's real. So I'm gonna get some money. And that's what we told a couple people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it's about. But that's what you're supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I messed up on them. So I got you. Yeah, so they got the ass with you. But I know that they saying like, I didn't know they would be over there. I did something. I know that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go to jail. I ain't trying to go to nobody. None of this. Ain't never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? Somebody, I for sure to you. A person come on my Instagram page and say, you're going to die tonight. They come on my picture and say, your Instagram? Yes. You're going to die. What's your Instagram page? WOODY372. WOODY372. Say, I'm gonna die tonight. But then she deleted the country by a screenshot. So when she deleted, I still took pictures. Yeah, it was a girl. Her name was Maya. Pretty. It was some Maya. Come on now. She come and said, you're gonna die. And then she deleted. But I still got a screenshot on my phone. It went dead. I supposed to show it to you when it first. Give me 1 second, right back. Okay. Right back. See if they got the camera, okay?
And we're gonna pause at 3:32:11 and resume at 3:35:48. Resume at 3:35:51.
We got no for Cal, dude. You got no for Cal? No. I had it. Yeah. Who's that? No. No, one dumb ain't kill. You know what he got? Look like I seen him before. Which one? Look like I seen him before. He would kill. The other guy looks at me though. I just ain't for sure. Just him. So Moto dropped you off. And went about his business. And he drives English gray or grayish blue Chevy Impala or Malibu. Yeah, it's a rental car. Okay, it's a rental. You don't know Moto's real name. Okay. I had met a Moto like around. I got Moto like his FaceTime. He told me that. What time was that? What's his FaceTime? I got charge. Okay. No, we have no outlet charger for the computer. But when Moto said it, I was trying to call my girl dad talk, and he asked me what happened. She was like, she called me phone saying I did. And I explained to him like, yeah, I can't do it and then like that. And he was like, he gonna like let me talk to somebody. I guess it's somebody over them, somebody's brother or something, you got something to do with them. And he hit me right there, let me talk to them, let them know that I ain't have nothing to do with them like that. And then them me and her dad was talking about. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go down. But I told him too, like, you think I should go down and talk? And he's like, nah, because they might find out where it's. You know what I'm saying? And then you ain't got nothing to do with it. They just like, okay, just like when they come talk one time, you just go down there and talk to them, then y'all go to their level. But I kind of kept, I was nervous, I was scared, like, just I didn't know what to do, like, one go to the house, cause I didn't know that, dang, bro, like, everybody gonna sit here and say, well, I did that, I know, I go through this every time, like, the guy got robbed, he blamed on me, then next thing you know, he found out who did it, instead of him just going ahead and admit that he was wrong, he still let people think it, you know what I'm saying, so, I can't do nothing about it, and now somebody's dead, and they think it's me, but I can't, I ain't afraid of, you know what I'm saying, nothing, but I just don't want to go to jail or die about somebody to do, and I didn't know, he had a point, Ken had a point to who, I don't know, but it just, now, like, he constantly, he just won't stop, bro, like, it ain't nothing I can do, like, I can this, I do that. Like, they know I stay because we were cool. You know what I'm saying? I took my sister house, my brother house. We was one night together and everything. Not here, but the ones that be around. And all of a sudden, like, that's what it means. Like, I don't know what it was, man. Honestly, I can't, man. Like, I'm so confused right now. So, me and Nut see each other, we dab each other. He's like, what's going on with you? And they just chill, man, talking shit, man. He's like, man, they about to be a thing going on. You know what I'm saying? But, it's just, man, I didn't know right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can talk to them, but somebody still don't think I did it. Like, no matter what I do, where I go, you know what I'm saying? I got sisters and brothers out there too. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like now everybody's dancing because they just shot a girl in my house. So ain't no telling what they gonna do to my brother or sister. They gonna see one of them. I didn't have nothing to do with this. Like, I never was deaf on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I would never stun them, but I still got to be like, wait, what y'all got to be, man? Don't have no money now? I just pop like that, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was pop money. That's how I talk about money. But now, you man go show a girl in my house, bro. Like, it ain't gonna call for, bro. Like, I'm so worried right now because I talk on the phone, she crying, and then I don't know if she gonna put on me, but like my phone, but when I talk to her, she didn't say that. But I just told her, like, I didn't do it. Like, I don't know what to do, but I didn't do it. Like, I'm lost. Like, right now, man, I really am, man. I'm scared. I'm lost. I'm always wondering, but I can't even think, man. Like, I don't know what to do, man. I don't, man. Because my name come making everything. I'll be playing with it. But now somebody's dead, and I just know, I know how it feels to lose one. You know what I'm saying? I love my closest friend. You know what I'm saying? And now, these niggas, they showing up at mama house and stuff like that, bro. Like, and it ain't even dead. It ain't. It's a game. It's the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? They deep. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that put fear in my heart, because now I watch out for everywhere I go. I have to watch out, and it ain't nothing I can do about it. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't kill him. I didn't have him killed. I didn't never try to fight him. I didn't have never try to rob him. I had never done nothing to nothing. Me and Kelly, we don't see each other plenty of times in the street. Ain't never did that to each other. It's been plenty of times. Ain't never in life, man, like never. I'm so frustrated, man. I call my brother, man. Then the advice he gave me, it ain't no good.
What advice your brother gave you that you think is no good?
I told her, I don't want to call her, but call the police and come to the house. You know what I'm saying? I usually tell y'all, but it ain't gonna be nothing y'all can do. You know what I'm saying? Cause from what you say, retarded, kids supposed to be retarded, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't scared of him. You know what I'm saying? It's more to life, bro. It's like no matter what I do, everybody always blame me for stuff. So I know there's a lot of people against me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm frustrated, man. I can't. I can't. I want the income. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. People like, man, they're lock you up. They can't lock me up. I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They don't tell them. They're like, man, but they keep telling me to wait. And this, I don't want to wait. I don't want none of this shit. I don't go out now, get out of the way. Then when I do, they wait. Just do what somebody tell me. When I go down there and talk, y'all, and y'all go out there, who gonna stop me? That's the only thing I'm afraid of now. Who gonna stop me? I'm scared, man. Like, it might seem crazy, but
do you know, did you hear anything on the street about who may be beefing with Nut?
I didn't know kids been running around shooting my place. You know what I'm saying? But he, like me, I never got to it. He never did that. He done came and set up the gun house. But this ain't the first time he did. This is the first time he did. He shot everybody up. You know what I'm saying? But didn't nobody know it was him. But then he got to with his girl. She came back and said it was him. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told him I paid for my window. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because he shot the window. So he was like, you're going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So, gosh. Nut ain't had nothing to do with this. You know what I'm saying? So, they probably, what happened to Nut probably ain't got nothing to do with this.
Was Nut in the game?
And Nut was a big dog. But a big dog know what I'm saying? So, Nut just care, bro, he's cool with everybody. Nut cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's a lot of people, but Kale was the problem. You know what I'm saying? He always have been. Like, me and Nut have talked about Kale. That's right, man. Let you let him have that. Like, I ain't telling, man. I don't feel no attention. Like, I just want to plug. Like, you kind of push on Derek, and you talk to him, and he'll tell you, and he gives you video. If you look at video of me in the club, I don't even pay him no attention. Like, we look at him, yo, that don't be like this. You know what I'm saying? You see me throwing money, I'll flash money. They throw money, That's how they keep saying. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? What can I do? When I leave the other day, where can I go? Because I have a lot of sisters and brothers. My mom has 10 kids. Half of them got their own houses. You know what I'm saying?
Is it around the area?
Yes. I got a sister on Boulevard, sister in Oak City. My grandma stay in Oak City. My girl stay in Colorado. My brother stay in Colorado. My other brother stay in County. You know, I got that. But they all understand. My sister, I'm afraid they might know she stay on Boulevard. And my big sister, I know they know she stay in Oak City. Yeah. So they just want like that with who did. He killed right hand man.
All right. This will conclude the interview with Mr. Kenneth Copeland. Ending time is 03:48 hours, will be 3:48 a.m. Talk to your brother real quick and then, okay.
Okay, what is
You know what, we'll talk to you here, okay?
what like this what I'm not kidding, like what I'm gonna go. No.
Your Honor, I'm gonna pause right here and pick back up at 3:50, excuse me, at 4:05:03. On the. And we're going to pick back up at 4:05:21. Restarting at 4:05:05.
Picking up same interview with Mr. Kenneth Copeland. Still give information in reference to the homicide investigation. Mr. Donovan Thomas, we have it at 330 McDaniel Street, Southwest. Atlanta Police case number is 150102106. Today's date is still January 10th, 2015. Time is approximately 4:00 a.m. Would you be $400? Okay. Mr. Copeland, go ahead and tell me what you just advised me of in the office. And you can, sir, you be in detail about what was going on today in every event that happened today. Okay.
Okay, I left my girl's house. My brother gave me the car. So my brother gave me the car. I had to pull up in Mechanicsville. The girl which gave me a little bandage for my mouth. And I put out a little something in my mouth. I left there. I went on Cleveland. I was with Lil D. Pick up Lil D. You know what I'm saying? So Lil D was like, hey boy, he said, no, you got shot. This first thing he said, like for real. And man, he like, yeah, we talked. So Mook told FaceTime me. And he was like, he told me the same. I was like, well, I just heard the DJ told me. So he was like, yeah, it's like, you know the name they screaming. So I was like, who? I was like, shit, you know, I already know. He like, yeah, but even he got shot, so one thing was a big deal. So like, all right. So Moose was like, he could come out. I was like, all right, come when you come out. So I got a phone with him. So I took the deep down to the whole house. I'm gonna scream my name to the girl house. I went got this young. I put up at Jojo's house. Cause she came out the door, she got out the door. I said, hey, where does JoJo live? She stays on Metro Lodge behind the Chevron. And it's a little apartment.
Okay, go ahead.
So when I went to their son up to JoJo's house, I told you their son, like, they say Nut got shot. And she was like, for real, the one him and her dad know each other. She like, yeah. I said, this and I did. Like, everybody on Twitter like R.I.P. Nut. So I'm telling her like, damn man, like, so she like, what we gonna do? I said, man, I'm gonna go out and talk to the police. She like, okay, this me and their son talking about. But I had me and her rolled out. She said she wanted to have me. She ordered food. She had food. So we were going to my brother's house. So I was going to talk to my brother about what happened. I seen him tickets. And then when I get to my brother's house, I'm turning left into the apartment.
And where do your brother live?
Come home. I'm Maury Avenue. I'm turning left from Pine Road to the inside the apartment where he stayed. I see this Camaro flying high. But when I turn left, the Camaro like, it goes straight. And then I go, instead of going in front of the door, I went around to the gate. So as I go around to the gate, I had the wrong gate color. So the gate color was to this shine apartment. So as I was thinking, it went go upside the head back to go park around in the front. Because I was going to have a brother call the police. So as I made back, I see the same Camaro fly to the stop sign, but it was going to bed at the mission. And they turned left behind. Like, when they turned left, I was in front of them. So I went to the stop sign, I made the left. When I made the left, I went to the next stop sign. I went to the next stop sign. There's two more cars flying in front of me. But they made the left coming down Pine Road into the apartments. And I was already in front, so now we faced up. I turned left again to go back in front of my brother's door behind the church. So when I turned left, I looked back in the mirror. I told his son, like, this them right now, duck your seat. So when as she let her seat that I was leaving them, they pulled to the stop sign. And they sat there, they looked at us. And then they went straight. I got in front of my brother, though I ran the stop sign, I went right. I went to the stop sign, I was left. I took out, went towards the precinct. I went through the little what's name and got me freeway.
Precinct where?
Like on Lakewood, FBA.
Okay.
I went that way. I got on the freeway. I got on City Road. I was going to my grandma's house because I know they don't want to know that's my grandma's state. But before I got there, I had dropped the son off at JoJo's house. And I got JoJo dropped his son off. We took the car to Greenburn in front of the police precinct and left the car there so they wouldn't shoot nobody in the car and then like that. So we parked the car in front of the precinct and then we rolled out. That's why I had Motul coming. Motul can't meet me then, and they son got to call me. So when they got to call me, we had went right there. We went to where we go? We went right there to the McDonald's on Metropolitan, North Mount, right there by the little DP. We went right there, and we went right there. I called mama called me, and me and her was talking on the phone, and she was just asking me like what's going on, and I was telling her like what's going on, and she was just like, okay, all I need you to do is just don't go out there and get yourself in no trouble, and I was explaining to her like. I ain't going out there. I'm not going out there. I'm not trying to be close to you, but they going to shoot up my house and stuff like that. You know where you stay. So she was just like, it was loud where she was. I wouldn't expect her to be at home. So she was like, okay, don't worry about this and that. And so when I got off the phone with her, I called my brother. So I was like, bro, I sent him 10 minutes, like, bro, I think I need to go down and talk to these police or something, because I'm like, because I ain't do it. And I went nowhere around. So my brother, like, he called me. When I tell you, he called me, like, all right, and he was at the restaurant, the bar in Canada. So I called, like, but Deshaun trying to tell me, so I like called Deshaun mama back. I mean, Deshaun like they trying to my mama's house, she crying and stuff. So back here, I called my brother, he ain't answer. I called my sister, she ain't answer. So I'm trying to call, tell them, need their house, but my brother called me back. So I go, they Deshaun mama's house, what Brittany? He like, she at the house. So he like, I heard her go down and call the police. He's like, oh, him. He like, okay. So what he did was, he heard her went to his house. When he got his house, he called me like, I'm at the house, like I'm getting ready, like call the police, bro. Call them, tell them come to the house. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you want to talk to him? I'm like, yes, I want to talk to him. All right. So as he did that, they trying to get call me, and he was asking me like, what's going on? And I was telling him, I explained everything to him, and he was like, what kind of car they drive? I was like, it was a red Camaro with a black top sign behind it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, what else? It was a gray car. And it was I think it was two gray cars in the same state. So he was like, all right. Then he was like, yeah, I'm on the expressway. I said, okay. So my brother called me like, the tip said you want to talk to him? I'm like, yes. He's like, well, all right, come to the house. I'm like, all right. But I was so scared. Like, I was going far out. I was just riding around. So I had went first. I went like towards Hateville. I got on right where the chick fled. I had got on right there. I rolled down. Went to the gas station. Got the gas. Got back on the freeway. I went towards Lynch. When I got towards Lynch, they shine that car with you right there. So when she called with you right there, she was like, you like come down here and talk. So I was like, all right. I came from Lynch. Came right here and talk. And you see what else. They like, besides all this, I had went down the door and like, see what going on. Like, bro, these folks can't shot this shit on my house. Like, for real. Yeah, I'm like, bro, what I supposed to do, bro? Like, man, this out of the way, bro. Let 12 handle that. 12 deal with that. This all you kept saying. Like, man, bro, you come out and let police handle that and deal with that, bro. These folks kill him son. He's like, man, folks, he know them better than that. I mean, them folks, man. I honestly, it got me lost on confused, on frustrated now, but I ain't do it. I ain't have nothing to do with it. Can't nobody say this thing, you do this. Can't nobody say this thing, you do that. I ain't have nothing to do with it. They come shooting at my house. They ain't got down to the bottom of the story. Don't know what's going on. First thing, come right in. First thing they did. First thing, like, my name come up and everything, but some people are trying to hear out. Some people won't. You know what I'm saying? But I know what it is. You care. Everybody calls on. Be careful. It's a lot of them. They got a lot of them. Be careful. It's a lot of them. They got a lot of them. They was everybody calls. So I honestly don't know what to do. I know the kind of car I got. They know what I say. It ain't nobody can go. It ain't nobody can hide. I can't do nothing.
You got the white Dodge Charger, right?
Yes.
What else you have?
That's it. So my brother called. He let me drive.
What kind of car your brother got?
That little gray Malibu.
That's his latest car, right?
His girl.
And what car he drives?
The white Charger. Like, he just gave it to me tonight. He like, you want a car? I was sleep. He was like, you want a car? I'm like, yeah, bring it to me. I'm like, damn. Oh, yeah, they shot there went to the movies, too. So, this what happened. I gave this son a car when she went to the movie. So, it was 11 o'clock. I know the time, but it was 11 o'clock. She like, move it over here. It was her, Bull, and Dime. It was them three in the car. They parked at Greenbrier. When Dime Coalition.
And you caught with her at 11, not 9 o'clock.
No, I called them by 11. Okay. They had went to the movies. I gave her the car.
Okay.
So they were about 9 o'clock. They got behind us. And then they son and got the car went to the movies. when she got back from the movies, I told her, like, she told her dad she going to meet her dad at Blue Flame. And I was like, why are you riding around my car? You know what kind of car I got. And she like, well, she fuzzy. So I was just like, fuck it anyway, get out of it and get in close to my ear. Get the cup, you know what I'm saying? Just, you need to just come on out first. And she's like, well, so when I called her back, she answered. I kept calling. And then she finally answered. And she was like, she on the freeway just paying Cascade. Somebody was jumping near it. She's like, near it with Greenbrier. I like, get right there. I'll meet you right there. So she got her right there. I met her. I can't meet her right there.
Yeah, you met her too.
It was Bull and Diamond. Bull named Denise.
Who you riding with?
I ran with him. And his girl and his baby. It was them three in the car and me and them three was in their car. And they got in the car, all of got in the car.
Okay.
Cause Moon trying to find somewhere to take his girl and baby. I think they know what they say too. So, but he said, I called one of his name Big Killer though. He said Big Killer called and told him, but they saying me and him did. So that was he can't tell me, but I got him like, bro, we need to go out here because they can scan us, they can tell we lying to tell the truth, bro. And he just like, shit, man, I go when they come, but you can call him now, he'll come.
Okay. All right, bro. All right, that's it?
Yeah, that's all. Okay. If I have anything you'll see him, I come right back down to the club.
Okay.
I ain't got no problem with nothing. I do this and I do that.
It is now 04:18 hours. It be 4:18 a.m. Conclude another statement from Mr. Kenneth Copeland dealing with the homicide investigation of the Donovan Thomas. Atlanta Police case number is 150102106.
For the record, we're pausing at 4:17:55, and that concludes the playing of the January 11th interview, which is State's Exhibit 378, Yankee Alpha.
Yes,
I can go to the bathroom?
yeah, we can all take a bathroom break. All right, so what's after this?
It is the state's intention to play the rest of the videos. However, I have not heard anything from defense counsel regarding the redactions I sent over to make sure that they were okay with the redactions from the January 28th.
Okay,
The
well,
February
presumably they had plenty of time during the hour it took for us to get the technology up and running for Mr. Copeland to be able to hear. So are y'all ready on the defense side to provide those over to the state so that maybe we can work over the lunch hour?
And I'm sorry, I should be clear, Your Honor. I know that Mr. Steele is working on February 20th that he needs to give to me,
Uh-huh,
but other interviews are what we discussed 2 weeks ago.
right.
And so yesterday I sent over the transcripts with the highlighted areas to confirm
Okay.
that those are the redactions. And so I haven't heard anything.
Well, that shouldn't take much time. I mean, is the defense pretty much ready to go on?
So, Your Honor, my understanding from communications with Attorney Hilton is her intent is to play the 2:20 interview next, correct?
So long as we get the redactions, but if I don't have them, I don't want to delay, so I would go to 128. But if we get the redactions and we can deal with it, then I can move forward.
So the 220 redactions are not something that's already been redacted. That's the ones that Mr. Steele was saying need to be discussed. Regarding the other redactions that were the transcripts that were provided yesterday, I have Mr. Mansbach and Mr. Kokomo checking behind them. We have them checking behind those redactions currently, and they're actively working on that, and we should have an answer for that soon. But there's been no transcript given to us. I don't know if there's been no discussion between the state, the defense, and the court. It has the 220 redactions have not been litigated yet, and I think that's the next.
Okay, I'm not really sure why that is even the case, because I thought we had covered everything y'all wanted to cover when we were going through his statements last week, but be that as it may, that's what we can work on over the lunch break. We're gonna have a working lunch. But you can quickly, like in the next 10 minutes, turn around, 10, 15 minutes, turn around the others, or no?
Well, the others are later. I don't believe that the state is planning on playing those next, but we are working on those. But
I mean, I think what Ms. Hilton was saying is, no, ideally she wouldn't, but instead of holding up the jury yet again, she would be willing to go out of turn for that. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
which one do you, in an ideal world, which one are you trying to play next?
In the ideal world, it would be 220. However, if we have to litigate that, I can switch to 128 because that's what we already discussed 2 weeks ago. We've already talked about those redactions. And so the only thing the transcript does is confirm what we've already discussed.
I understand we talked about it 2 weeks ago. We are trying to confirm the transcripts, and they were provided to us yesterday. And
But the
so,
redactions have always been there. So
okay,
It really shouldn't take that long.
okay, well, we are actively working on it. I'm looking at the people that are working on it, and they're nodding in agreement. So if I could just check to where
Okay.
we are with that, and
All right. So Ms. Hilton, as long as there's one of those that they can be ready on in the next 10 minutes, when we get back from our break, you'd be able to proceed with that one. All right.
I'm being told by Mr. Mansbach that he is 10 minutes out of
All right.
confirming
Perfect.
the 128.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's all take our convenience break as well.
I'm being told by Mr. Mansback that he is 10 minutes out of
All right,
confirming
perfect.
the 128.
Fantastic. Thank you. Let's all take our convenience break as well.
Wow. Interesting morning so far, y'all.
All right, guys, what do y'all think? Your boy Woody was up there. No, let me show you the videos. I got some audio, video, everything is on my phone. Let me show you the phone. Look at the phone. I'll never forget, man. I represented this guy, and I need to say his race, because if I don't, y'all ain't gonna understand. He was Hispanic, and he wasn't Mexican. He was like Guatemalan or El Salvadorian. Didn't speak any English. And I represented him on a custody case, custody visitation. He had how old was this kid? I say the kid was 2 years old. And the mother was trying to reduce his visitation. And the father was trying to get more visitation. And the father was really wanting custody because the father was saying that the boy, the 2-year-old boy, was having like bruises and stuff, and the mom wasn't watching him right. Actually, let's say it's a 1-year-old, because like the 1-year-olds, don't they like fall, they're stumbling, trying to walk and all that? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so let's say it's a 1-year-old. So the 1-year-old is appearing, when dad picks up the 1-year-old with all these bruises and stuff. And the mom had moved on. So the dad is like, oh, well, what if it's the mom's boyfriend? And I'm like, all right. And he comes in and he's like, Mira, look at all these. He's speaking in Spanish, but he's like, look at all these bruises. And he's like, Woody, he's showing me the phone. And he's got all these pictures. And so he's like, look at the phone, look. So he pushes the phone in my face. And I'm looking, and I can't tell what it is. He was like, look what she's doing to my kid. And I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I can't make it out. He was like, look, I need custody right now. And I was like, I understand it's a photo of your son, but I can't tell. It's like, look. It was the kid's asshole.
I swear to your stories sometimes.
He had a rash. He had a rash. Like a diaper rash. This is, y'all are like, Lee, why did you retire? Why did you retire?
Oh my word.
What did you? That might be a crime to have that on your phone. I mean,
It is.
it's like, come on, man. Don't push that on my, like, look at it. Look at it. It was so close.
Oh my God.
You can take the photo so close.
Oh my word.
I couldn't tell what I was even looking at. Oh my God. And so now Woody is like, hey, officer, did you see he was posted up and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling? He was posted. At any rate, we are on a break, guys. Let me make sure we all are
How do we move on from that? He's like, at any rate. He's like, he's going to tell us this disturbing story. And then you're like, well, moving on.
Moving on. Oh, I'm grizzled.
Yeah,
Guys.
with
I'm almost 50, man. I'm 47. Had to go to the doctor today, doing a damn IV. I'm falling apart. Oh my God, I'm just grizzled. I'm so over. I cannot tell you. If I never in my life see this plaque, this state of Georgia, 1776. They have it in every single courthouse, every single courtroom in the state. when I go to sleep at night, I still have dreams about being an attorney. Even though it's been 4 years, I can still see this damn thing in my dreams.
This is like those veterans that have war stories. You
Yes.
have them for days, but that is disturbing. Like if your client's like, look at my child's rectum. I don't know. Like, what the hell?
It is. Somebody, you take a photo like this close to you.
Oh my God.
You can't tell.
Ew.
Oh my God. Of a 1-year-old boy.
Oh my, okay, all right.
Oh,
Enough. That's crazy.
come on. It's like when you deal with people from other countries, like an American never would have done that.
No.
Ever.
They probably would have told you about it. But
Ugh.
show you?
Listen, man, this is after 20
Mira!
years. After 20 years, I'm so done. I wanted to slap the shit out of that dude. Right? Make it. Oh man. At any rate.
See, there it is. At any rate.
It's like, come on.
Oh.
Jesus. Anyway. Guys, I have in my mind, I want to do a live stream, and it's so deep. I was thinking about it today while I was sitting in that dang infusion chair getting my IV. I want to shout out to the Little Gaming Channel. The Little Gaming Channel, the stream sponsor, by the way. And thank you so much to Full Drink and a Half Thinking. I always say the stream sponsor guy is the person who gives the biggest super. It's the Little Gaming Channel. He's up to like 140, 145. He says, when you think Lee's story is going left, he makes a hard right.
Hard.
Oh my God. If I could just tell you, I was about to say if I could tell you guys some of the things that I've seen, but it's like, Jesus. But what I want to do, guys, and I was thinking about this today. I don't know whether it's going to be like a whole live or what, but I want to take a step back from this trial, and I want to really look at some of the players, and because, I don't know if y'all remember, but we had, hatred's a strong word, it's too strong of a word, but we all had a very, very great dislike of Judge Glanville. Mm-hmm. And we all have, we got to admit it, maybe not the Little Gaming Channel, but we all got to admit it. There's a soft spot in our heart for Woody. And now, with this whole Melnick thing, and shout out to Tammy, someone asked in the chat, what happened to that? So I'll tell y'all what happened to that. But, we're all kind of on the outs with Melnick, especially from him being suspended and reviewing the court order from the Georgia Supreme Court. But I want to compare and contrast these players, but I want to do it in a video, but the video will probably take an hour, so I don't really want to do it. So maybe it'll be in a live stream, but guys, I just really want to look at the players in the case. Mm-hmm. And like, is it good that we're looking at Woody in a favorable way? Is it good that we're looking at Glanville in a negative way? How do we, we're looking at Melnick. Shout out to Tammy. Tammy says, on Monday, I paid Melnick $15,000. On Tuesday, he was suspended from the practice of law from 6 months. My son is incarcerated. My son has a filing deadline for this habeas in October. Melnick said he was going to have my son back by September. Now Melnick cannot practice until January. Mm-hmm. If Melnick cannot practice until January, can't file anything until January, the filing deadline is going to be over. My son's going to be in prison for the full 8 years. So I need the $15,000 back to hire a new attorney. Tammy says she sent Melnick the $15,000 on Monday. Tuesday, Melnick was suspended. So what does Tammy do? Calls up Melnick. They talk. Everything's going well, apparently, until Tammy asked for the $15,000 back. When Tammy asked for the $15,000 back, boom. Melnick hangs up in her face. All right. And you're like, well, I can't really believe that. Why would that happen? But then you look at what happened in the Georgia Supreme Court and what the Georgia Supreme Court said about Melnick, about how he had a reprimand in 2003, another reprimand in 2003, another reprimand in 2006. And then what happened just a few years ago where he took this lady's money and then didn't tell her about any of the court dates, didn't tell her about any of the motions, didn't show up to court himself. When the court ruled against her, Melnick didn't tell her about that. And this lady had to file a bar complaint and hire another attorney to seek malpractice. And then Melnick cuts her a check for less than what the judge had ordered. Is Tammy going to have to do that? Is Tammy going to have to go hire an attorney to pursue malpractice before Melnick cuts the $15,000? Now Tammy actually emailed me. I emailed her back.
She
I
sent
said,
me
you
a
know,
DM like an hour ago.
oh really? Yeah. She was like, Lead, give me a call. Let me tell you guys something. Don't ever email me your number or anything like that. You know, don't put any, because you know, sometimes my little VA be checking my emails for me. So don't ask me to call you, because it's not gonna happen. But if you want to email me, that's fine. But don't, you know, sometimes y'all be sending titty pics and stuff in the damn emails. Don't do that anymore. All right. Stop that. I emailed her back and I said, hey, you know, I hope everything is, you know, working out. And, you know, if you can give me an update. Did she give you an update on,
No, I got the same thing. So about an hour ago, she sent me a DM and she's just like, here's my number, AV, call me.
Yeah, just guys, listen, don't send us your number. All right, we're busy. I told her we've been streaming, me and AB have been streaming 7, 8, 10 hours a day.
Yeah.
If y'all knew how many times y'all send us your numbers, like we're not calling. We love you guys, but we're not calling you. All right. Especially when we charge for consultations. I had a consultation last night. What do I look like calling someone when somebody else is paying $300 or $600 to talk to me? That's not fair to them.
Yeah.
All right. But shout out to Tammy. So I emailed her. I was like, you know, what's going on? Is everything okay? And she hasn't emailed me back. But what happened with Melnick? After Tammy came up, I felt kind of bad because Tammy was able to get her shit off, but Melnick, you know, didn't. Melnick didn't know Tammy was going to come up here.
Mhm.
So first, I called Melnick. I was not able to leave a voicemail. He didn't pick up, but as you can imagine, Melnick's voicemail box was full. You know, everybody's trying to get in touch with Melnick.
Yeah.
Everybody. I sent Kayla a text and I was like, hey, Kayla, I noticed your boy, you know, a client of his came up, an alleged client, supposed client, said some things. There were 10,000 people in the chat. So if you can get in touch with Melnick, tell him that, you know, I'm looking for him. If he wants to come up and give his side or clear it up or anything, provide some type of clarity. Then I also sent Melnick a text yesterday with the stream link so that he could, I sent a text to his cell phone so that he could join the stream. He didn't join the stream. I also sent Melnick an email to his email. Oh, looks like they're back. With the stream link, he did not join the stream.
So, Your Honor, technically my boss is here.
Microphone,
Kokomo-
Chart, use the mic.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. App.
Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Kokomo reviewed February 21st.
Okay.
There was one issue we had, page 165, line 5. If you recall, you ruled it out. It was when he was using pronouns they after they shot up the car, and it created the impression that Mr. Stillwell and Mr. Garlington shot up a car, but that's not what he was saying. So you ruled that out, and I assume that the state's going to address or to take care of that oversight.
Is that right? Y'all gonna take care of that oversight?
Yes, Your Honor, and it's actually page 65, line 5. Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Now, Your Honor, as it pertains to the January 28th statement, on approximately page 180, and I can get the transcript and we can talk about the specifics. There was a portion that I wanted, that the state wanted out, and that was where Mr. Copeland was talking about who we think may have done the Donovan Thomas killing. And the state said it was hearsay and speculation, and I argued that it showed that he was talking about he wasn't naming our clients and was saying other things, and Your Honor ruled in our favor. They've taken that out.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if my stance is we're telling the jury that we're playing his statement.
Right.
And strategically, I understand that they might want to keep that out and keep that from a jury. But if we're telling the jury we're playing his statement, it seems to me that it's gamesmanship that doesn't really make a lot of sense in this trial. If they're going to make us get up and replay a statement, and we're going to have to reestablish context just to play 2 minutes. And if, character stuff, that should come out. But to selectively choose what you're playing, I don't think that would be appropriate in this circumstance.
They've got a point there. I mean, if we're basically, taking an hour long or 2 hour long or however long it is statement and saying, here it is, you ought to kind of have to take the bad with the good. I mean,
And I think the
Go
state's
ahead.
position is we don't know if they're going to play it until cross-examination, because we don't intend to bring it in. They're telling us that that's what they're going to do, but we really don't know until.
Okay, well, I mean, for ease, we could just do it this way, but what if they represent as an officer of the court, they're gonna do it? Then would you do it? And I'm not gonna make you, but if they are gonna do it, then they will be entitled to do it. So it's just a matter of when it gets done.
We can jump up and down in front of the jury and talk about how they strategically excised a certain portion of his statement to not give them the truth about what was said and to hide facts from them, the jurors. But it would seem to me that we would want the jurors to hear everything in context.
So can I ask specifically which lines you're referencing and what timestamps?
Should I just send the jury to lunch, y'all? I mean, we're not gonna get through more than about 15 minutes of any statement before it's lunchtime.
The state wouldn't object to that, because hopefully we can work through the 220 as well and get everything resolved.
Okay, so why don't we have them come back? How long do we think? I don't know why nobody said anything about, oh gosh, we still haven't done the February 20th statement, but how long are we anticipating that taken?
15 minutes and I.
Oh, okay. All right, great. That shouldn't be an issue then.
to us, we can see if there's anything that we can see to. So it might be shorter than that, depending on what it is.
Okay. All right. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take the lunch break. Y'all probably, attorneys need to be working through the entirety of it. I'm gonna let the defendants go have about 30 minutes to eat their lunch and then come back here. I will also come back here in 30 minutes. Y'all hopefully will have gotten a lot done in that 30 minutes. Then we will go back on the record, hash through whatever we need to hash through, and, whatever. So, okay, so timing wise, then, 30. Why don't we have them back at 1:15? And hopefully that'll give them a nice break and us enough time to get everything done. All right. So we are on recess till 12:20. Okay. Y'all probably shouldn't leave at all, but go feed the defendants and I'll be back at 12:20. No, y'all ought to have crackers in your bag. Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
It's their feeding time, right? All right. So, I think the judge says the jury is coming back at 1:15. We can kind of talk about it a little bit where I wanted to kind of go with this. Because guys, I've just been doing this for so long. And it's interesting to me how even me, I was rooting for Judge Glanville for reasons because he was a judge of mine. And it's interesting how we root for Woody. And I'll be honest, I'm pretty just like I was rooting more for Judge Glanville than you are, I'm kind of rooting against Melnick a little bit more than you are, just because I know, how bad this stuff is and how sloppy it is and how you guys get taken advantage of. And I know it because I'm an attorney too. And, one of the interesting things for me is how we're rooting for Woody so much in light of the things that he said, the good things and the bad things. I don't know if y'all saw his Instagram where he was posted up, him and the court reporter, the past court reporter, they were hugging. It was such a wholesome photo. And so what I really want to underscore, guys, is that when you come into our office, when you come into a courthouse, when you enter into the legal system, you're never going to get all of what you think because you're dealing with humans. Let's take a little quick gander at this Melnick thing. What happened with Melnick? Well, multiple violation. Okay, and guys, put yourselves. Has any put a put a yes, just so I can know. It's 11,000 people in here. Put a yes if you've ever hired an attorney. Put a no if you've never hired an attorney. Yes if you've hired an attorney. No if you've never. Because people's experience is different, guys. I've never had like a real surgery. I've never broken a bone or anything like that. I've been really blessed up until far. God, I got a lot of yeses.
That's a ton of yeses. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, man, y'all, Jesus. We
Few
got some
no's.
no's.
Few knows.
A lot of y'all have experience with attorneys. Now, imagine What happened with Melnick that the Supreme Court is so talking about? And the Supreme Court is so pissed at Melnick. Why is the Supreme Court, guys, all right, am I surprised that Melnick's mailbox, his voicemail box is full? No. Am I surprised that he didn't call me back? No. You might need to put him on some type of self-deletion watch. You don't understand, guys. A 6-month suspension. Y'all think, oh, well, it's a 6-month suspension. No, it'll break you. It'll out. If you're a solo practitioner, it will break you.
Yeah, but he
Like,
was
that's
already in counseling too, so that's actually,
supposedly,
yeah.
because he said he was in counseling. So the Supreme Court asked him for proof and he couldn't provide any.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. But the Supreme Court really rammed it up Melnick's. Melnick's. Look what we did, Lee. Look what we did. What is this? Oh, keep looking. Keep looking, Lee. You'll make it out. Let me pull up the document here just so we know what the hell's going on, just to really show you guys what happened with Melnick while I pulled this up. All right, Melnick got hired by a mother. All right, and why? The father had filed a case against the mother. What did the father want? The father had gotten a different job. And the father, whenever you're paying child support and you get a job that pays a lot less, what can the father file? A modification of child support. What did the father wanted to do? The father wanted to reduce his child support. All right. So let me pull it up here. And we're not going to read it all because we read it yesterday. We're just going to skim it. What happened? Well, he received 2 reprimands in 2003 and another reprimand in 2006. Now, I have been practicing. I practiced for over 20 years. How many reprimands have I received? 0. The vast majority of attorneys that I know have received 0 reprimands. And I was practicing for over 20 years.
Wow.
0 reprimands. Melnick has 3. And now a 4th one.
And remember, the 5 stars on Google were not 5ing.
Right? And what happened? He began representing this mother in a case in Rockdale filed by the father. So what happened? And guys, picture it. The father files for a reduction in child support. So let's say that the father is paying $1,000 a month in child support. The father gets a new job paying a lot less or loses his job. Now, the state says that he should only pay $500 instead of $1,000. Let's say, right? So they're working the case and they go to mediation and they agree. They're saying, listen, this woman is getting $1,000 a month from the guy's job, but the guy gets a new job, right? And so, well, I guess it's not a new job. Let's say he just gets a demotion, let's say, or something happens, he loses overtime, something happens to where he's in the same job, but he gets a lot less. Now, guess what happens? The mother is receiving $1,000 every single month straight from his job. He's not paying her. The father's not paying the mother. The mother just getting it on that damn EBT card or whatever child support card. All right, it's coming straight from the father's check. A lot of men in the chat, hey, a lot of men know what I'm talking about. Child support hitting them pockets. They going straight to the check. They ain't looking at you. It used to be, guys, y'all were able to write a check and mail it in. Y'all remember putting checks in the mailbox of these women? Or when you show up to visitation, when you drop the kids off, you drop off that check. Well, now they got it to where they're going straight to the job. They agreed to a reduction, let's say $500. But what's the problem? The problem is sometimes you agree to a reduction, but there's an issue with the job and the job still takes out the same amount. So what do they say in the paperwork? They say, let me pull it up here. They say that they go to voluntary mediation. They reach an agreement on the reduction of child support. And they They acknowledged that there was going to be a new income reduction order that was going to pull from the father's job, and that Melnick's client, the mother, would reimburse the father each month for the difference if there was a difference in the child support. So if the child support pulled out 1,000 and he's only supposed to pay 500, the mother's got to pay that 500. The mother's got to reimburse. Everybody up to speed? Good. What happens? They agree to the reduction and they agree to the reimbursement. Months goes by. The attorney's like, hey, let's get this show. The other attorney's like, let's get this show on the road, finalize it. What does Melnick say? Melnick says, yeah, we'll finalize it. No problem. But my client has been receiving these overpayments because the job is still sending $1,000. And my client spent the money. So we don't feel like the father should be reimbursed. So we're fine with everything. We're fine with the reduction, but we're not going to do the reimbursement. What does the other attorney say? I say, are you crazy? I represent the father. My father, he's been overpaying. We need the money back. Melnick's like, take us to court. What does the father do? The father files a motion to enforce the settlement agreement and enforce that reimbursement provision. When Melnick gets the motion for court, what does Melnick not do? He doesn't tell his client. He doesn't tell his client. He takes that motion, is like, damn, they want that reimbursement, and just, he doesn't tell the client. So the client doesn't know about the motion. What happens? The court sets a date for the hearing. Melnick in his office gets the hearing. It's like, oh, we got a hearing in January. What does Melnick not do? He doesn't tell his client. So he gets the hearing. Oh, I'll just put this right here. I'm gonna show up for. I'm gonna take it all. I'm gonna fix it all. Melnick, you remember that motion that Melnick got? Do you know what he didn't do? He didn't respond to it. Some of y'all have hired attorneys. Does anybody know what happens when someone files a lawsuit against you, someone files a motion against you, someone files a petition against you, someone files a complaint against you, and you don't respond?
Starts with a D.
Right? It's a default judgment. You lose. So Melnick didn't even respond to the motion that he didn't tell his client about. The court date, the judge is there, the father is there wanting the reimbursement. The father's attorney is there in court. Everybody's in court except the mother. The mother's not there. Do you know why the mother's not there in court? Because Melnick never told the mother about the court date. Melnick never told her about the motion.
Crazy.
Oh, there's one other person that wasn't there. Melnick. He wasn't there.
And the sad part, we were talking about that earlier, is that he knew he wasn't going to be there because he petitioned to reschedule it.
Yes.
So he knew ahead of time and could have told her then, a full week before, and he didn't.
What's this whole shit? Why did Glanville get messed up? The whole thing was about a secret meeting. Who did Woody hire and who did not show up? Melnick called Caleb. It was like, Caleb, if you don't get your ass down there, he ain't pay her nothing. Melnick did it on the free. Caleb, go down there and handle this for me. I'm on vacation. Do y'all remember how this whole Glanville secret meeting shit got started?
We were talking about patterns of behavior yesterday.
So Melnick doesn't show up to the hearing. The mother doesn't show up to the hearing. The judge is like, oh, easy day. Whatever you guys want, reimbursement, absolutely. So the judge orders that the mother, Melnick's client, has to reimburse the father $2,600 or something, and since Melnick's client didn't show up, since Melnick didn't show up, since they had to file that hearing, $800 in attorney's fees to the father. Melnick gets the court order that says $3,600 his client has to pay within 30 days. Melnick's like, damn, this girl got to pay $3,600 in 30 days. Guess what? I ain't going to tell her shit. He didn't tell her. He didn't tell her. Imagine if you paid an attorney and they don't tell you. Now, this isn't me saying all this stuff. This is what the Georgia Supreme Court said. Look who wrote this, guys, in the Supreme Court, not Superior Court, in the Supreme Court of Georgia, dated August 13th, 2024. That was Monday. Was that Monday?
Yesterday. And it's the
Tuesday.
highest court in the state.
The highest court in the state. Guys, you know, we're watching this Whitaker case. What levels is the Whitaker? Judge Glanville, Whitaker, they're the trial court. And y'all see how much power they have. Judge Glanville incarcerated Brian Steele. But above Whitaker, above Glanville, there's another court called the Court of Appeals, where Glanville is saying, I'm not going to allow you to appeal during the case. You appeal it. You appeal it if you don't like what I said, you appeal it to the Court of Appeals. So the Court of Appeals is above Whitaker, above Glanville, and yet there is another court above the Court of Appeals. Ooh, this is rarefied air. This is a powerful court. What is the name of this court? The name of the court is the Supreme Court of Georgia. They are the ones who issued this against Melnick yesterday. This isn't me making it up. This is the factual findings of the court, of the highest court in our state. This is the court that told Glanville, hey, we ain't putting Brian Steele in jail. What the fuck is wrong with you? Let that man out. The highest court in the state told Glanville, hey, I don't know what you're doing. Brian Steele ain't going to jail. Judge Glanville tried to put Brian Steele in jail for every weekend for the entire summer.
Crazy.
Supreme Court of Georgia was like, fuck out of here. What are you talking about? They are the ones that issued this against Melnick. So you've got a mother that owes attorney's fees and reimbursement. She don't know nothing about it, right? Months later, when she gets her check, her child support check, she notices that it's short by $500.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what the hell? Where's my $500? She goes up to court. Oh my God, what does she find? She finds all of the paperwork. She finds the motion. She finds the court, the court date, set the scheduling document, the rule 9 side. She finds that the court order, that there was a whole hearing she didn't know nothing about. She didn't even show up to it. Why didn't she show up to it? She didn't know nothing about it. She finds the court order saying that she owes $3,600. Not only does she have to repay the overage in child support, she has to pay attorney's fees. She's like, why do I have to pay attorney's fees? Attorney's fees for what? She can't get any relief from Melnick. Melnick not answering the phone. So what does she have to do? She files a bar complaint. And she has to go hire another attorney to try to get malpractice against Melnick. Then what does Melnick do? Now the lady owes $3,600. Melnick pays her $3,500, tells her to go away. Sign this release so that you ain't gonna sue me. I think you're muted. Hey V, you're pulling.
Sorry, I'm pulling to you. Well, that's the thing, and that's where he fucked up. It's kind of like you're gonna take action after
After.
you get called out, and that's what the Supreme Court really went in on him on specifically.
Yes.
They in that analysis section, they've really put a laser focus on that part. It's like, okay, you tried to remediate it, but like it was really sloppily done.
It wasn't timely at all. It was after,
Mhm.
right? That's like you commit a murder, you get arrested, you just got arrested, you're getting booked in. You say, stop booking me in, stop. I want to turn myself in. Nigga,
Crazy.
get down here.
Right. You got bloody hands. Like you got red-handed. Red.
You right here. What are you talking about? Turn yourself in. We had to go and get you the SWAT team. If you from Atlanta, you know about Red Dog. We had officers sitting on your roof talking about you want to turn yourself in. And Melnick was like, hey, I paid her back. You paid her back after she went to an attorney to seek malpractice against you. You paid her back after she filed a bar complaint against you.
Didn't have to rise to that level.
Why didn't you tell her about any of this stuff? And this isn't your first time. I know attorneys, like I practiced 20 years, never received any type of reprimand. I know attorneys been practicing for 40 years, never received a reprimand. You got one reprimand, then you got another reprimand, then you got another reprimand, and now you're doing this shit to this mother. This mother ain't, I mean, she hired you to help. And guess what, guys? Let's assume the mother paid $3,000. Listen to me now. I don't know if y'all are good at math. I am not. But if you pay Melnick $3,000 and then the judge orders you to pay $3,600, how much do you have to pay in total? $3,000 plus $3,600. I'm gonna say that's $6,600. Does anybody remember how much Melnick paid this lady to fix it? Shout out to Miss Pat. Fix it.
Throwback.
The lady paid $6,600 to Melnick. How much did Melnick pay? $3,500. So she's, she's still lost.
She's still out $3,100.
So
Plus what she's paying her new attorney. We don't
the,
even know that.
the malpractice, exactly. And so the Supreme Court went, and it's hard, Melnick is right down here, guys. It makes me feel bad to talk about, Fanny and Nathan and Mel. They're all here. They're right down the street. I could easily go into Fogo and Melnick sitting right there. I heard you talking shit. That's what Kayla, who remember when Kayla came up? Kayla was like, lead, I heard you talking shit about me.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a small world.
It is.
But I mean, I'm not saying anything I'm not lying. I'm telling you what the Supreme Court of Georgia said. This is not me making it up. This is August 13, 2024. This is yesterday in the matter of Jonathan R. Melnick, who was representing Woody. So it's like, well, how do we feel about Melnick?
I think Chad has been very vocal.
Platinum Boy in TV says, man, Kayla's still mad. How do y'all feel about Melnick? On a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is great and 0 is Oh, and did we talk about Tammy? The 15,000?
Oh my God. Yeah, that was not
You
good.
got to put Tammy on top of that. Tammy asked for $15,000 back. Tammy just paid the man, day before yesterday, Monday. He was suspended on Tuesday. Tammy asked for the money back. Melnick hung up in her face, according to Tammy. So y'all are saying 0 and negative 1,000 and Melnick's a drug. I mean, what if you hired Melnick?
What would y'all do if you hired Melnick and that happened? Like,
somebody said YSL Melnick. All right, now let's switch it. Woody.
I was thinking about this last night too.
You think about Woody last night?
Not like that.
All right,
But
I
just,
just-
just like, like, because people have been making comments like, okay, is there support for someone that put 28 people in jail to help himself? Right now, you know what's on Apple Music?
Did y'all hear it drop? Woody got a new disc, not a diss track, a new song, right?
It is called I Don't Recall. Allegedly, he went to court today wearing his own merch and a shirt that said I don't recall, and they made him take the shirt off. And so this man's single, I Don't Recall, is out there, we just watched footage. We saw him toss the headphones
Mhm.
because what does this make him look like, publicly across the world?
Oh yeah. Let me show you guys something. Where is it at? Woody has been tearing up YouTube, tearing it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all saw him in this video that has over 1 million views. Woody be driving. This is not going to have any sound. I'm not going to play the sound, but because I'm not going to play the sound because there's music. But they're like, hey, Woody, you know how to drive? Woody's like, yeah, I know how to drive a little bit. I can drive a little bit. And old dude on the left let Woody into his let him drive his Hellcat. And there go Woody, boy, burning it out. And just Woody got a good heart, man. Y'all see him, no seatbelts. Woody look at that dude like, you scared? You scared? What you scared for? Woody burning it out. Woody doing it, man. Woody's like, I'm doing it. The fuck you talking about? Shout out to Woody. Burning up them tires, burning up that motor oil. He's doing the damn thing. And ain't nothing wrong with this. Now, is this illegal? Yes, but I mean, he's in a parking lot. It's relatively safe. Right? So shout out to Woody. But then, we take it, Woody's doing it in the parking lot. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But what's the problem? We start taking it to the highway. And you see him bouncing around. Now, the difference is you see other cars driving by. Look at this. Look at Woody. Not only is he not in the driving lane, now he is in the other lane. And now he crosses an intersection and runs the light. And this is a little different, guys. This could be me or you out there.
Wow.
Look at Woody. 1 million views. Like, he's doing it. He's like, yeah, I saw 12 back there. I saw the cops. Fuck the cops. Woody, what about me, man? I'm in these streets. Like, this could be you. This could be your aunt. This could be your mother out there. I went to a funeral last year. It was my cousin. How did my cousin die? Just like this. He was on his way to work and got hit by a person going in the other lane. Does anybody know the most dangerous type of car accident? The most dangerous type? Is it a fender bender? Somebody hit you in the back. You got that soft tissue, contusions and soft tissue damage. It's whiplash. No, not that. Is it the T-bone? Where somebody hit you in the side? I mean, this is a T-bone all day. Look how he blows through. This is a T-bone all day. Watch this. He's gonna blow through the intersection. The people on the left going to the right, they have the right of way. That's a T-bone all day. It's not a T-bone. Y'all see it. It's a head-on collision. A head-on collision. What does a head-on collision look like? A head-on collision looks like when when they're driving in your lane. Like they're in their lane, they leave their lane and they get in your lane. They're in your lane now. And my cousin was on the highway and someone came down the exit ramp, entered on the exit ramp, and hit my cousin head on. And my cousin passed away. That dude got out of the car and ran into the trees, ran into the woods, and he hasn't been caught. So, you know, we look at Woody and you see his affect and everybody loves him. What did Woody say? Woody said he had a friend who was killed, by the way. Threat. Tay. Now, Tay had a problem with somebody. Tay had a problem, an undisclosed problem. Who knows what the root of it was with Rich Homie Quan. So Tay is telling Woody, hey, man, I got a problem with Rich Homie Quan. I want to go do something to him. Woody ain't got no beef with Rich Homie Quan. What does Woody do? Woody goes with Rich Homie Quan with guns. This is according to Woody. And he said he could say this because he has immunity. He said it on the stand yesterday. Start shooting up the barbershop of Rich Homie Quan's father. Has anybody heard of a stray bullet? Has Woody been in the military? Does he have any training on how to shoot semi-automatic weapons, automatic weapons? Is he just spraying and praying? How many people have been hit? How many people have been killed with the spraying and praying? Now you can look at it as a good thing that Woody is ride or die. He didn't ask what the beef was with Rich Homie Quan. His man Tay said, hey man, I'm trying to do something to him. Woody says, who car we taking? That's what you want in a friend, right? You want loyalty. But now Woody is out in a black community spraying up a building. Who's in the building? Am I in the building? Hell no, it's a barbershop. What am I doing in the barbershop? You know, but are you in there? Is your son in there? Your uncle? Somebody mama waiting for their son to get hair cut?
Yeah, small children, they get haircuts too.
But we're pulling for Woody, right? Because you see it's hard, but it's like we're not pulling for Melnick, but we're pulling for Woody. But who's more dangerous?
Mm.
Who's more dangerous? I mean, so Melnick's down here, Woody's up here. Glanville, let's look at Glanville. Where the hell Glanville at? Man, y'all don't like Glanville worth of shit. But, you know, Glanville served this country for 35 years.
You know what's interesting? I was pulling old footage of like you and I to do a compilation of one of the videos we were working on.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some really serious shouting matches between Glanville and Love, where he was calling her out on being unprepared. He was like, madam, you need to get it together. You need to stop doing this. You do it over and over and over again. And I know he let a lot of stuff slide, but there are examples where this unprepared stuff that's been going on, he's checked her on it multiple times. And it's like, we're seeing Whitaker notice it, but it's still like, is anything going to be done about that? You know, like, I know the ex parte meeting was bad, but was he ineffective?
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. You know, everybody's judging Glanville for this case. And again, guys, you know, y'all can say I'm biased or whatever. I don't think I'm biased, but, you know, Glanville was one of the last judges that I had before I retired. He invited me and my client and her parents into his chambers. We were there where the secret meeting went down. He was super nice to my clients, super nice to me, super nice to my clients' family. I was in there. I saw his American flag. I saw his awards. I saw some of his accomplishments. He's done infinitely more for this country than I will. I'm 47, you know, plus my health ain't that great. Does anybody know, can you get into can I apply to the military at 47? Or they're like, man, you are too grizzled. You should have came in high school when we wanted you. We showed up at the cafeteria. You said, hell no, you walked away to our recruiters. Well, now you're 47, you want to come back, you're too old. You know, and this is a man, all of our senses tell us that, oh, you know, he's terrible, he's this or that, he's corrupt. And yet, you know, you can see him if you go into his office in uniform.
All right. All right, let me get this statement pulled up. What's the question? Yeah. Close to being able to figure out what you agree to, what you want to dispute.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so you want to tell me, I'm sure you've got Mr. Steele's proposed redactions in front of you. We can just go kind of paragraph and then subparagraph down through it. Does that work? And you can tell me which ones there's agreement to and then which ones we need to hash out.
Yes, Your Honor, and my timestamps are going to be different because I think Mr. Steele was looking at an MP4
Okay.
and I was looking at evidence reviewer, so I have the actual clock time versus I guess the MP4 time, but I can tell the court very quick. We can go paragraph by paragraph, but I think it could be, I can tell you what I can see too.
Okay, so looking at his motion,
Yes.
his paragraph 3 that addresses the first 12 minutes, more or less.
Yes, so if the state believes that what needs to be played is let me go back. They all enter the room at 1:33:17. And then the detective, he leaves the room at 1:33:51. We would advance past that portion, Your Honor. At 1:37:28, the detective comes back in. He begins by reading Ms. Quarterman and Mr. Copeland their Miranda rights. or Miranda warnings. And so I do believe that should be played, which is from 137:43 to 141:58.
Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
Any issue with that, Mr. Steele? Okay, that's fine.
Then the next portion is 141:59 through 144:57. That is when Detective Curry is primarily speaking to Ms. Quarterman. We will redact that portion.
Okay,
The next section at 144:58 is when Detective Curry begins speaking with Mr. Copeland. And from 144:58 to 149:37, the state agrees that is when Mr. Copeland is just telling Detective Curry what happened, the shooting itself. And we do agree that he testified to that on the stand, so we would redact that as well.
okay.
But everything after 149:42 to the end is what we believe needs to be played. That is everything he disavowed on the stand and said that he would have never said it.
All right, so you want to play the portion that is the, giving the Miranda warnings, and then you want to play 149:42 through to the end.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and with regard to what 149:42, where that is on,
And that is on page,
I mean, of the motion. It doesn't look like there's an objection to that. Am I wrong? I mean, I know you have overarching objections, but with regard to redactions.
so I think in Mr. Steele's paragraph 6, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, I think those are these timestamps from 24:44 to 25:50.
Oh, right, because his times are different. Okay, so point me to where in your motion we start getting the part that the state is proposing to play.
Would it be possible to just put it up on your Zoom so we can look at the timestamps and you can hear the conversation?
Yes, but can you point me to what part of your motion I need to be looking at? I mean, if we've already covered, 7 of your objections, I just want to get to the one that, I need to be thinking about.
I think that if I'm tracking it, we're in paragraph 6 of the Mr. Williams motion
Okay,
from today, filed today,
okay.
Division 1,
All right.
which is an hour. And I understand, there's a difference in which timestamp you're looking at, but it's 12 or
Okay.
24:40.
So honestly, I thought it was fairly easy in terms of being able to follow what was going on, to use the transcript unless there's a reason I need to hear the video.
I could find it in the transcript.
Okay, so if we can do that, that might be a faster way to get through it.
I just need to get the transcript.
Okay,
The portion would begin on page 20 is where we believe we should begin.
okay.
Page 20, February 20th statement.
Okay.
Page 20, around page 20, line 20.
All right. Where they're talking about a car.
I think Detective Curry says, so why would they still be shooting at you? And then Mr. Copeland says, this shit give me a headache, man. You good with me,
Okay.
man?
And they have a different transcript than you.
No, I think they have the one that we gave them.
What?
No.
I think they,
Is your transcript?
78 pages?
No, it should be 77 pages. And you know what, Your Honor? Your transcript may inadvertently have the wrong cover sheet. Hold on one second.
No. So you think the one that's labeled February 20th is not actually February 20th? Is that what you're saying?
I'll send it over, Your Honor.
No, don't send it over. I've got all of them. They just might be labeled wrong. So I'm looking for a 77-page transcript.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
It's not that one. Okay, well, maybe just send it. I think I've got one that's 77 pages, but. So on page. Yeah, I've got it. I see the, why would they still be shooting at you? Y'all, why is it that nobody said anything about, we still need to go over the February 20th statement last week when that's what we were here for?
And there wasn't an objection.
Correct, Your Honor. When we played the last time.
Ah,
there
so
wasn't
these are
objection.
new objections.
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
I know.
There was a general objection, but I think once we played them, I don't, that's why I
All
called
right.
Mr. Sharp last night, because I didn't recall. There was.
Okay. All right, so do y'all have what you need yet? Have y'all sent it?
I can give them this copy.
Yeah, that's fine. So Mr. Steele can have a hard copy since he's sort of leading the charge on this, but can y'all email everybody a copy? Okay. All right. Page 20, she thinks is kind of where we were starting. Then maybe you tell us whether that's what you're objecting to. And on the January 21st and January 28th, are we good on those?
For the January 28th, Your Honor, the portion that defense counsel is asking for us to play, we are fine with playing it, but we believe to be in full context, we will need to play past. We would need to play everything, and Mr. Sharp, you can look at it to see if you agree. Everything from page 82, line 21 through through 90, potentially 98, line 8.
All right.
Couple things, Your Honor. I just want to just put everything out there and so Your Honor knows what we're dealing with. I'm going to look at the January 28th, their proposal.
Okay.
So I will report back on that.
Okay.
Ms. Percival, we're at, there's a request for the Zoom link for Mr. Steele. Okay. Okay, great. With going back to the February 21st,
Mhm.
there's
February 21st.
yes. And I'm
Okay.
sorry to keep jumping around. There's two things.
That's fine.
There's two things. First of all, page 30, line 19 to page 42, line 7. We, I think, properly excluded that because, and it was at the request of myself, honestly, because I questioned whether Kenneth Copeland had firsthand knowledge to talk about Tay shooting up the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Homie Kwan's father's barbershop. However, now we've heard Mr. Copeland testify, and he said that he and Tay shot up the barbershop. So
Yeah.
clearly has firsthand knowledge. And in this segment, he is saying, no, Tay didn't shoot up Rich Homie Kwan's barbershop.
Right.
So I haven't, full candor, I haven't gone through, I'm trying to do it with a fine tooth comb if there's anything else objectionable in that area. But page 30, line 19 to 42, line 7, at this point, should be played because it's inconsistent and it's also clearly based on Mr. Copeland's testimony, putting himself there. It's something that he did, in fact, unbeknownst to us, have firsthand knowledge of.
All right. And I guess that would be kind of a similar thing if the state, you, the defense, are saying you would intend to have it played. So the question is, does the state want to just play it as a part of theirs or not?
I just need to read it because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So I just
I
need to
just
read.
caught that actually.
Okay.
I just need to read it. So long as I
All right.
read it, I think we'll be fine.
And you had the times 3019 to 42:7.
Yeah.
Now, and additionally, Your Honor, and I'm endeavoring to find it. There are, and I'm going through my notes, there are two segments where there are two interviews where Mr. Copeland speculates about who did the Donovan Thomas murder, and it wasn't these gentlemen. One is we just addressed, and about the state taking it out strategically.
Right.
I'm trying to find the other one. I don't know if the state strategically did that for the other one, but I had the same objection, but I'm trying to find where that is.
You don't know which interview it's in.
I'm trying to go
Okay.
through my notes right now because
Okay.
So the January 28th interview, the one that you all were just talking
Yeah.
about, it has two different portions in it.
okay,
And one of them deals with what you just talking about, in addition, in the other interview.
okay. Well, what's the other interview?
Yeah.
Right. I've identified the January 28th, but there's another interview, and that's what I'm trying to identify.
Sorry, you look for it and then we will.
Okay,
once
he
you find
talks
it.
about, it's the area that he talks about, supposedly someone running off with.
Also want to look, y'all are also going to look at that little portion of February 21st, 30 through 42. And then, so January 28th. All right. All right, so back to February 20th now. Yes.
I'm having a hard time locating where in the transcript I've targeted. Can I just play it's about a minute and a half,
Sure.
and then maybe we could find in the transcript, and then we could track.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this is paragraph 6, division 1, and with the court's permission, Mr. Kokomo is going to play it, and then if anyone can find it, it'd be helpful.
Right.
You recognize who it is. I'm just waiting on you to be real with me about it.
It won't stop.
So you saying the loyalty, not knowing who is out here shooting at your baby mama and your baby ain't gonna stop it? Cause you can't sit here and tell me today who you recognize as the person who was shooting at you. If this stuff was loyalty, if they had, all the rules of the gangsters or being a gang member, all this other stuff, you don't truly mess with family. You mess with everything else around. You don't come to the house.
We can stop the video. Now know where we are on the transcript.
That's fine. I'm just down doing something 24.
Right. All right. So.
My objection is just the detective. My objection would be that's the detective saying, I see it in your eyes, you know who it is. And if you don't care about your family and you care about the streets or whatever he just said, I would ask that to be removed. And to my knowledge, he's not testifying.
What's the state's response?
You're right. I think you have to read all of that in context and not just stopping there, but if you start at page 23, line 16, and he's trying to get him to
Yeah,
determine who do you recognize in the car, and he says what he says in order to get Mr. Copeland to tell him who's in the car. And even after Detective Curry makes those statements, when you look at page 24, line 15, Mr. Copeland responds to what Mr. Curry is saying. So in order to understand his response, you need to know what Detective Curry said in order to finish up page 24 of that, page 24 of the transcript, but the rest of that statement. It puts what Mr. Copeland's saying in context. And this is what he denied here in court about not wanting to be a snitch. He didn't care about being a snitch. He, everyone was forcing him to say it was Tay.
all right, and so like the response that you want is 15 through 21, that's,
Really, it's the whole section. I start on page 23,
okay.
line 16.
All right, I mean, Mr. Steele, it's pretty much just kind of typical police questioning. You know more than you're saying. No, I don't. Yes, you do. I mean, I don't find that to be, it's your argument that it's 403.
I don't have any right to confront him, so typically the police questioning, there's a police officer here, we can ask why you're asking those questions. He's saying, I see it in your eyes. This is not part of my defense. This is not the core of it, but it's just impossible to have a trial by video, audio. And it doesn't put anything in context because Mr. Copeland's answers I'm not targeting. Mr. Copeland says, I didn't see anybody. Then he's off camera with his significant other. And she says, you do know who it is. And he says, I know, but I don't want to tell them. So it's nothing that you need this context. This is just the police officers telling him that he has more loyalty to the streets than he does to his family.
Well, he's not really saying that. He's asking him, is that what it's going to come down to? I'm going to permit it.
Okay.
Over objection. All right.
The next one is 2631 for another minute and 30 seconds, approximately.
He doesn't know what the page number is, but it's going to be a couple of pages after what we were just looking at. So it's going to be Detective Curry, basically the same thing, saying, you know who it is and you won't tell me. All right, let's hear it and then maybe we can.
Guess what? Still going. You know why it's still going on? Because we only get half of it. You know one of the dudes that sit in that car that shot at you, and you was sitting here today and won't tell. How do you think we're supposed to help you? And all this stuff that's going on. It's the whole gang got there. It's managed stuff. And so I don't even understand. You was 30 feet. Huh? I couldn't.
were you associated with? And then everything else that I rolled about with it, you started to come back to Harlem. And where your cousin at now?
Which one?
Which one? Either one.
In jail?
Both of them? And you out here on the streets trying to survive. And now you at this point.
Same argument. Same response.
Because it's a continuation of the conversation that we just talked about. He's, Mr. Cope said, I didn't kill anybody. He said, I feel police are out to get me. I put all my pride to the side.
Talking to the
I'm
mic, I'm
sorry.
sure Mr. Harvey can't hear you.
And I'm on page 24. And then he says, you know why it's still going on, because we're only getting half of the story.
Yeah.
And then he goes in to say it's a whole gang out there and they're not going to stop. I believe I
Yeah.
asked him specifically about that question and he denied saying that.
Yeah. I'm gonna permit that over objection as well.
Next one's 2920.
Okay. And if you'll go ahead and start playing that one.
I went through all this, man. I ain't do nothing.
So you telling me that you can,
27.
maybe it didn't or maybe it did, hit that car seat. But you telling me right now that loyalty enough to the streets, which the streets is coming in your house, shooting at your baby mama and your baby.
Still gonna make it worse for me. Still gonna make it worse for me.
You're a better man than me.
No, I ain't.
Can y'all stop the talking over there? Because I'm trying to hear. Sorry. Okay, so stopping it. You're a better man than me.
But if you keep playing it again, I think it's all in context, because the next thing he says, I don't look at it myself and anybody, I just know the trouble I'm putting myself in, because again, he's talking about if I
Yeah,
tell you
so
all-
I don't think Mr. Steele's objecting to that answer. He's saying, can we redact the part in between there?
So redacting at line 3.
Basically, right?
Yes.
So like line 3 through 10.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. All right, next one.
3223, Your Honor. Through
Just
32,
get right back.
32.
For somebody you know, that you won't sit here and tell me who it is. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's not it, man.
Can you play it again for me? Okay, page 29. What? Okay, thank you.
And just pick right back up. For somebody you know, that you won't sit here and tell me who it is. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's not it.
Same argument. All right, I'm gonna permit that one.
It's 33 even to 33.40.
Okay. Yeah, and that would be on page 30, starting at line 15.
But do you know more than one? Huh? You know one of them? I know you know one of them. Your face tells the story. Now, out of all the ones, you might know the other. But I know you know one of them because the face tells the story. Because the face tells the story of somebody being close. That you trusted.
All right, I think we can probably do without that question.
Copeland says after this,
Uh-huh.
you have to understand why he responds in that way. And he's telling him, I know you know, and Copeland's response is, I wouldn't say it.
Okay, so on page, not page, but lines 10 and 11 up there, 3 people, this is the detective, 3 people in the car and you knew one of them. And do you know more than one?
And then he says, huh?
Yeah.
And they said, it ain't that.
I mean, you can get the answer. I don't want the wrong person locked up without, who knows whether the face told the story of it being somebody close that you trusted. That's potentially confusing.
That's fine, Your Honor.
So that part's out.
Next is 3810, Your Honor, and it's about 2 minutes. It's 4017.
All right, let me ask you, did 34 through 34:47, I don't know if you meant to skip that one.
Oh, I skipped it. Accidentally. Thank you.
All right, so this is,
John, I'm sorry, did we stop at the word trusted on the last one?
yeah, the question. Okay, so then this next one that's, I guess, subpart 6
Correct.
is right below that. It looks like there's maybe on page 30, line 24, down through the next page about not being able to sleep. Was that it? I don't know. I think so.
I'm not gonna get the wrong person locked up.
Yeah.
We already know that person, whoever it is, they hurt or hit you. So regardless of the situation, it's gonna come to rest. I just want you to be able to sleep at night. Now all the other stuff that we got going on, and you probably not gonna sleep because of the situation that's going on. Somebody coming to the house. No, they checking. We'll wait eventually. Some of the stuff that we saw out there, we know that they know. One way or another. Because you shot back. Okay, what stress you out, man? What stress you at?
All right, Mr. Steele, what do you have to say about that?
Well, Ms. Quarterman's not going to testify. 1, 2, it's just the detective stating the same things about sleep at night. I think it's irrelevant, and I think that it's under 403. It is prejudicial about who's sleeping at night, and I don't see the probative value. And then Mr. Copeland picks up with a lot stressing me out, so you don't miss any context of what he's talking about when he does speak.
All right, what's the state's response?
Your Honor, state's position is Mr. Copeland kept staying on the stand multiple times. The police were out to get him. The police were out to get him. I think him telling him this information, it shows that the police were never out to get him at all. What they were trying to do is find the person who shot at your child, find out, try to investigate a case, and that contradicts what he said on the stand about what the police were trying to do.
All right, I'll allow that in then.
But then that goes to the truth of the matter asserted of what Detective Curry, sorry, stated. He's not testifying.
But it's the effect on the listener on how Copeland responded to what Detective Curry was saying to him.
I mean, I don't think that's being offered for its truth of whether the detective cared at all, whether Mr. Copeland slept at night. I think this is just given context to all of what he's now testified differently to. So I will allow that over the hearsay objection, confrontation objection as well.
3810 through 4017 is number 7.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? We got some things we gotta deal with on the other end too. Now, you know, you convict a felon. You shooting a weapon.
Page 35.
Okay. Is there a reason the state needs this part?
Is it just
It's your probation now.
The probation officer and I mean, we need the weapon part. He's already testified to.
Right, so we don't need like who his probation officer is, but we do
Right.
need the,
Yeah, Mr. Steele, can you be a little more specific about what part you feel like should be redacted?
Yes. I think it's on page 35.
Okay,
I'm just. I think it starts on line 4.
okay.
And this is just asking Mr. Copeland about his probation officer. I don't know why that's
Right.
needed. Going into the next page, which is page 36. It's about needing to call Detective Gaither. I just don't understand why we need that. And then we need the weapon, which has been testified to by Mr. Copeland as it would be a prior consistent statement. He said, yes, they wanted the gun. I wasn't going to give the gun because it would get me in trouble.
Yeah, okay, so kind of down through all of 36.
Yes.
All right, that doesn't look like a prior inconsistent statement. He did say that they wanted the gun and he didn't feel like giving it to him. And the part about him being on probation, I think I am gonna grant.
so the only part that we would want, Your Honor, is on page 36,
Yeah,
when Curry says you can call either one, you either can call one or two, we need that weapon. He says, I'll call Gaither, because I think his testimony, he says that Gaither's always out to get him. And I believe I had a lot of questioning where I said, but when you were in trouble, you will always call Gaither. And I do believe that there is some value in the jury seeing his demeanor when talking about Gaither. Back in 2015, he didn't think that she was his enemy, at least during these interviews. So we would ask for a line,
12 through 14.
yes, from 12 through 14.
If it's for the demeanor.
Well, frankly, 19 through 22 seems to. Oh, no, that's the probation officer. Never
Yeah,
mind.
he's talking
That's
about the
something
probation.
different. Okay.
the
What
next-
were you gonna say?
I was going to just remind the court, the next day is going to be February 21, 2015, and you're permitting, I believe, a video audio recording. It's Detective Gaither with Mr. Copeland. So if you want to see the demeanor of Mr. Copeland and Detective Gaither, this would be cumulative.
Your Honor, I disagree that it'd be cumulative, because I think that it's important that on multiple occasions, he had this comfort level with Detective Gaither versus his in-court testimony when he's making it seem as though Gaither was always attacking him, never just had it out for him. He had a relationship such that he always calls her when he was in need.
Potentially, there's
Well,
9. Oh,
I'm not sure that it actually establishes that because he's basically being told you either need to call one person or Gaither, and he's like, okay, I'll call Gaither. I think we can do without this.
the next round is 40, 40.
Timestamps correct.
Sure, I don't know what the timestamps are, but the lines are page 35, starting with line 4, and then all the way through all of 36. Well, actually, through 37, line 2. Okay, Mr. Steele, next.
40, 40 through 41, 20, once we find it.
All right. Okay, so this is the very next thing. You need to keep in touch with Gator. You need to lay low, very low. Okay.
You see, you found it? Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Right.
it follows right from what we just, this is 37, line 4. Is it just the question?
Yeah, it's going to be the Detective Curry making all these statements, just giving all the instructions. And then, I believe Miss Quarterman is then speaking, who's not going to be a witness.
So you're saying, sorry, 37, line 4 through
I'm taking it up to,
however long she's talking, maybe 38, line 8.
um,
I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm asking Mr. Steele, he's looking. Well, I don't know, it may go further than that.
well, there's just a lot of huzz.
There's not really much of anything
Correct.
getting said.
That's true. Goes up to, I believe it's going to go up to 41.
All right, and that'll encompass your item number 9 also, or no? Yes, okay.
No, that should not be numbered.
No? Okay. State's response.
When it goes to the page 37, line 4, you need to keep in touch with Gaither. Again, to me, that impeaches his whole notion on the stand. When he-
Okay. Just that you need to keep in touch with Gaither, or you can make this argument about the whole,
No, so there's other portions. We won't object to the you need to lay low
okay.
portion of it. I know somebody close to you, it hurts. We can take that out. However, when he begins to ask Deshawn if she knows who the person is, which is page 37, line 21, and she says, by the time I looked at their room down their window, they had already started shooting. When we go over to page 38, Curry asks, is there anyone you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been there? And then she says, nah. Then Copeland says, tell him who's been there. He's talking about Tay. So here we believe that is relevant because he said that he didn't know who he was. And so that would be impeachment from line 10. That would be a prior inconsistent statement, excuse me, from line 10 all the way through page 39, because he's encouraging, he being Copeland is encouraging Quarterman to tell Detective Curry who it is. And then on page 39, she eventually says Tay. who is there. So all of that is a contradiction to, would be a prior inconsistent statement.
All right, so let's take that a bit at a time. So the 37, line 4 down through 38, line 8. I'm going to rule out. So this part about Copeland essentially saying, okay, let's go ahead and be honest about who's there. And it's not so much her responses as it is him knowing and wanting, I guess, to be honest about who had been there. Is that your argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Steele?
I'll just maintain my position.
All right. I will permit that portion.
Would Your Honor give the line numbers, please?
So it would be 38, line 7? No,
10.
10 through, you tell me, Miss Hilton, where it.
Well, I'm sorry, Your Honor, probably 5, because you probably need to understand why he says, tell him who's been there. So we would probably need to question anybody you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been there.
Okay.
And then she says not, then he says, tell him who's been there.
Okay. All right. All right. So 38, line 5 through the end of 39, 40, line 2, 40, line 4.
40 line 2, because then he just goes into
Okay.
who's his brother.
All right. So that part is okay.
And the part of the court excluded started at, you need to get in touch with Gaither or exclude?
Yeah. Okay. What's our next item?
4540 through 5050.
All right. Let's start to hear it.
Right now, we only know there's a guy by the name of Tate. That's a possible person. You know where Tate come from? What area you live in?
I don't know, like, I just know him, would bring him around here. I don't know like that, I just seen him on McKinneyville a couple times.
Anybody know where we are?
Mechanicsville and Simpson. Well, Mechanicsville and Simpson, that's a,
Yeah, that was before I seen McKinneyville, I know he was right there.
how old is Tate? Is he about your age? You older
He young,
or you young?
he younger than him.
How old are you?
Page
So you like 18, 19, something like that? How old are you? You 20?
He 21. I'm 21.
You're at 20? So it's Tay that lives on, that's Mount Simpson and was over on Simpson in Mechanicsville. There's two places you know what?
Started hanging when he came.
You start hanging when he came to Mechanicsville, but he said he's from Simpson. Well, yeah,
That's where he from.
that's where he's from, Simpson, but you met him over there in Mechanicsville.
He went to club. We used to be in club playing basketball.
Well, one thing I want to tell you, you gotta look at her. You gotta look at your baby. Your baby girl. Full circle. You got a lot to think about tonight.
All right, so Mr. Steele, this, your objection on this ground goes through where on the transcript?
Through page 51, line 10.
Okay. So, 50, line 17 through 51, line 10, I can definitely see that being kind of just Not anything the state needs. 50, page 50, line 17 through 51, line 10. What about before that, Mr. Steele? Is there anything particular before that that you think is objectionable?
Well, it's Ms. Quarterman speaking, but Your Honor, I'll waive, for purposes of what you just said, I'll waive the other opposition.
Okay.
And Your Honor,
Mhm.
so we restarted that. I think that this particular section actually starts on page 46, half of line 19. Where the second term says, and right now we know, the only know there's a guy out there in Tay, that's a possible person, you know where Tay comes from, what area he lives, and that's what he comes. I don't really know him like that, he's from Pierceville, Simpson, and they go.
All right, I think Mr. Steele's saying he's doesn't have objection to that part.
Well, I have objection, but I'm waiving. I'm waiving.
Are you saying waiving or waiting?
WAIV.
Okay. He's
I guess I don't have an objection then.
right. All right. So what is the next portion we need to think about?
5350.
Hang on just a second. So it is 1:15, which I think is when I told the jury to be back. And is this is the statement you intend to play next, if possible, is that right? Okay, all right, they'll just have to wait a few minutes. I think we're getting through it. What do you think? How much longer is this gonna take?
I don't believe it'd take more. Once we find the transcript, it goes very fast.
Okay,
So, Your Honor, it's line 50, line 17 of page 50 through line 11 of page 51 that's coming out.
correct, yeah. All right, so then where's our next portion?
5350 through 5430.
Perfect.
It's number
Okay.
10.
Thank you.
You know, it's kind of sad. Because at this point, you have a cousin, two cousins that's in jail. You have three other brothers. You have a baby. You have a baby mama. This your first child?
Yes.
Do you think that you'll be able
On
to your
page
child
53, Your Honor, line 13. Through line 19.
Okay.
Of page 53.
Yeah.
Correct.
But you know, me and her get into it every second of the day, every 5 minutes.
Ms. Hilton.
That's fine, just so you know, it's kind of sad, it's supposed to come into, you think you get to your child grow up.
Right. Okay, that's out.
The next one, Your Honor, is 58 even to 5920. And it's number 11.
All right. Any idea where that is in the transcript? If not, we can just start listening until we find it.
Had nothing to do with none of it.
So basically, young
On page
thug
55,
watch this.
Thank you.
line 21.
All right.
Because I can't talk to the detectives. And then folks in the street saying, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch, I'm a snitch. Nobody don't want to hang around. I call them promise, they don't want to hang around.
I'm lost.
But what the hell, where the hell all this come from? What the hell is going on?
So basically, young thug and washed his hands of you. And Birdman. And now,
I seen him in the club, I gave him that, he gave me that. And I was talking to him. That nigga ain't talk with too. He's like, yo. Shit. You like, what he been at, you feel me? But what he did do, he called when you're arrested, like everything, all is okay. You feel me? But
I'll waive that, Your Honor.
It is
All right.
now.
Yeah.
The next one, Your Honor, is number 12,
Mm-hmm.
5950, which should flow right out.
Okay.
Situation hating on you for what you had
I know for,
because you came from where they couldn't get to.
I know this kid, this him, but I'm,
I'll waive that, Your Honor.
All right.
And then,
Miss Quarterman talking.
yes.
All right. Well, I don't know, but
Goes back to 36, so it's backwards.
oh, okay.
36 minutes to 38:10. Can we play it, Your Honor?
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know. So it's going to be before page 57.
Yeah, just, yeah, if you'll play a little bit of it.
shit not gonna work. Why it'd be a damn snitch. Something going.
You wanna talk to first say? So I see why you act like you did.
I didn't. They want me to say I did.
You should've just said no. I thought you know who it was.
I do know.
Is that it, Mr. Steele, on page 32?
It's all, it goes up to, it starts there, it goes up to 34, line 18.
Okay.
It's basically Ms. Quarterman speaking. Mr. Copeland speaking as well, though. So if the court finds that it's context, then I'll waive it, but.
Okay, let me look at it. All right. Seems to me like this is mainly Mr. Copeland talking. She does ask a couple of questions, but they're obviously questions and not statements. I think we are not going to have any idea what he's talking about otherwise. So I'm going to just allow that.
And the next one, Your Honor, is really the paragraph 7.
Uh-huh.
It's 42, 20. It really encapsulates paragraph 8. And it goes up to 46, 29. So once we find the beginning, it'll be easier on the transcript. But it's a lot of talk about family members of Mr. Copeland and Miss Quarterman. I don't remember that even coming out for Miss Quarterman's family in this trial as an inconsistent statement.
All right.
If that's page, we can hear it, but if that's page 40, where he talks about who his brothers are, and yes, we can listen to it.
Can we hear?
Yeah, let's hear the beginning of it.
It should be 4220.
Anybody you let come over to the house recently, it's an old lady Huh? Business.
Yes. Bro, take.
So you gotta put this tag.
So, Mr. Steele, does this look like it's, page 40 and 41?
I didn't hear it link up to that, but page 40 and 41 are definitely,
You'll object to that as well?
well, it's in here because that's, you know, what I'm referring to, but I did not hear it yet. I still can't find it
I'm
in the
not either,
transcript.
but
It's right after, Your Honor, the portion that we did just speak about when Mr. Copeland is saying who came to the house and Tay came to the house. Then immediately after that, Detective Curry starts asking about his brothers, Mr. Copeland's brothers, and that goes from page 40, line 4 through approximately page 46, line 19.
okay, so maybe it's somewhere in there, but are y'all good with redacting that part?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.